Welcome to Breaking the Barrier, episode number 12. I'm Adam Benz alongside my co-host. He's the one, the only, the troublemaker himself, the Vice Mayor of Covington, David Crosier.
Why's it got to be about me being a troublemaker?
Well, little birdie told me you got into some trouble.
Your little birdie got a big mouth. Who is your little birdie?
You.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I was mad.
So that's a big birdie.
Hey, I'm slimming down. Well, you know that old song, I fought the law and the law won. Well, he won this round. I got a ticket Saturday. Bought the new car for the wife. When it was traded in, none of us thought to look at the tint on the front windows. And yeah, so I got pulled over for having too dark a window. $90
Wow.
for the fine.
Not even a warning?
Not even a warning. It was a state trooper. They sit there, and I'm going to warn folks that go down Rayon and take that big sharp turn onto Edgemont Drive there at the old Hercules plant, rail over river now. They sit right there. They've sat right there for months. When and this is the funny part. 20 minutes before this happened, the wife came through. They were sitting there, and she came through, and she didn't get pulled over. 20 minutes later, after she picked me up, we drive through there, and I'm driving, and I get pulled over for tinted windows, and I told the guy. The wife still even has the sale papers in her glove compartment. We showed him. So we just bought the thing. He said, "Do you know anything about tinted windows?" I said, "No." I said, "What in the world am I supposed to know about it?" And apparently they're too dark. So fortunately, Right Way's going to take the tint off, and I could pay the fine, but I'm not going to. I'm going to see that dude in court. Because if I pay that fine, that says that I admit guilt. I will pay the fine when the judge says.
Because you're not guilty.
No, and you know, I could pay it ahead of time, but it goes on my driving record.
Right, and you don't want that.
And I don't want that. My credit rating might stink, and everything else of mine might stink. That's why I never have to worry about identity theft.
It'll keep going lower.
Oh yeah, I don't have to worry about my identity theft because people feel that bad for me. I'm hoping they'll steal and maybe put some money in my account.
Like that movie Identity.
Yeah. But, I'm not going to sit there and admit that and have the one record that I have that's really, really good be taking a hit for it. So if the judge says I have to pay, that's fine. We're going to get it taken care of, and I'm going to see that dude in court December 4th. Might have to record that week's show early just to make sure, just in case I get thrown in the pokey, because I'm going to try to behave myself. I've got a crackpot legal team I have established. We are getting this together, and I was checking to see if Johnny Cochran could help me. Dude's dead.
Yeah, I know.
So he's out. But get my dream team.
Jim Cornette.
Both of us.
I know your dream team. Jim Cornette and Conrad Thompson
and Tony Schiavone.
Because
Tony is just about as out of it as I am.
You might as well have Eric Bischoff then.
Well, yeah, Eric Bischoff's pretty good.
Yeah,
I like him too. I don't want Bruce Pritchard.
Why not? What's wrong with him?
I don't know.
Well, you gotta have Conrad. He is married to Ric Flair's daughter.
Woo! But I wore my kind of slouch, I call it a newsboy hat, and I don't know if that offended the guy or what, but like I say, 20 minutes before that, the wife went through nothing. And, but just to warn people, they sit there a lot now, so you need to, go slow, have your seatbelt on, everything else, just to make sure that you don't give them a reason. And I texted my sister while all this mess was going on, and somebody was sitting with her and said, "Well, was he speeding?" My sister said, no. Because if I ever get some kind of a speeding ticket, it's going to be for going too slow on the interstate.
Yeah, because you don't go fast.
I don't. Life's too short. I like to see the scenery.
Speaking of scenery, I see you wearing donut socks.
Yes, I am.
Who loves donuts?
That's right. My Homer Simpson socks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very observant.
Yes, you
I
are.
noticed the donuts.
That, and I've got my feet propped up on the wall. So
That too.
My size 15 boats. How could you miss them?
15.
15. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I mean, I'm a big dude. Imagine if I had like a size 8.
But I'm taller than you, and I'm only a 12.
Well, la-dee friggin' die. Ain't you something? I used to be tall and I started shrinking.
Well, outside of that, we're recording on a Wednesday. It's hump day, middle of the week.
We got a good show today.
How are you doing this week?
Outside of
Getting some trouble,
getting my dream team together, it's been a pretty good week. I got to go to Clifton and talk to my dear friend of 30 years, Jeremiah Walker. And
where you're going to be very shortly.
Yeah, going to be very shortly. Going down and seeing Jeremiah, and we're going to talk about the Fall Festival. Jeremiah is a member of the Clifton Forge Shrine Club, and he is chairman of the Fall Festival. And that was this past weekend, and I wanted to get with him because, sometimes there's not a whole lot of follow-up, and a lot of people don't even know what a Shriner is. So we're going to sit down and we're going to chew the fat for a little bit, and we're going to talk everything Fall Festival and Shriners and reminisce a little bit, and it's going to be a good time.
Yeah, you're taking away from the main event from me, so you're giving me a little break this week.
No, actually, I'm just shocked that you're letting me go on assignment.
Yeah.
Adam Benz is trusting me with an electronic recording device on my own to travel to Clifton Forge. Beautiful Clifton Forge. Love Clifton Forge. Love the people down there. Can't wait. I only get to see Jeremiah once or twice a year. And so this was because he works down, and that'll be part of the interview, but he's the administrator of Mountain Regional Hospice. Great organization. So he, down in Clifton, is perched down there kind of like I am here at the paper. Kind of like, always here. He doesn't get up here much anymore. I don't get down there very much, and it's going to be a good time. I'm just shocked that you're letting me go on assignment by myself.
I trust you.
Dude, don't trust me yet.
You're right. I need to. Well, you're right. Once I hear this interview, because again, folks, it's going to be pre-recorded.
Already, I had to go through a 5-hour training session on how to work the phone to record. So it's going to be fun.
Yeah. So we're already a pre-recorded show. This is going to be a pre-recording interview that we're going to install into the show later on for the main event.
Now you've done confused me.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, we record a day early sometimes. Sometimes it's 2 days that we record early.
I could give you a week and you still wouldn't get it on time.
Oh, my gosh. I had an issue last week.
Yes, you did. You had a technical issue, and
we're lucky we even got the show still.
I know. Only you.
It screwed up my Sheldon flash drive. Sheldon from
Big Bang Theory. Yeah.
Have I showed you my Sheldon flash drive?
No, but it's, it's corrupted now.
It's corrupted, so I have no use of it anymore except for to leave it around as a stick figure.
Oh my word.
Yeah, it's a little figure, and you pop the head off, and it's the flash drive.
Ain't that clever?
Yeah. So now it's corrupted, and I have no use for it other than show.
So you sent me a text.
It was at 12:30.
Oh my God! You said we got a problem.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I was having an extremely rough day last week anyway, and I was like, oh my God. I just worried you lost the show.
No. And I kept trying to explain that to you, that the show was fine. It's just that.
And I wasn't really concerned about the time frame at that point.
Right.
With computers and electronics are fine when they work. That's why I stick a piece of paper. You can't hack it, and unless the dog eats it, you're good.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm working from when I'm doing the breaking the barrier. I'm working from your laptop, transferring it over to my laptop, which I'm trying to get into the system from here.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a 3-way process, and I have to download it from my email address as well as the flash drive. So that's what was wrong. You've
already lost me.
Yeah, I know. I'm just gonna move on.
Yeah, you lost me at Sheldon.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm gonna move on anyways.
Yeah, move on.
Well, we have the interview coming up with Jeremiah Walker that you're going to take care of in the main event, talking about the Fall Festival from this past weekend, which I heard was a very big success. Unfortunately, I missed it this weekend.
And you missed the Shriner Donuts.
No, actually, no. Mama Benz took care of me.
I told you, you have a delightful mother.
I do.
I tell you what, you need to thank her every day for being an awesome mama.
She is an awesome mother.
She is. I've got one. Mama Crosier is wonderful, and we're lucky to have such wonderful mothers.
We are.
She got you spoiled, though.
She does. She asked me how many I wanted. I said, ooh, don't tell me that because I could eat a few dozen.
Because I think last year I brought you a whole bag, and you were hanging out here that day, and I brought a whole bag.
You brought a couple, yeah.
Yeah, I brought like 2 bags, thinking that I'm going to share them with the whole, because I don't eat them. I'm diabetic. I don't need the sugar. But I thought, I'm going to get 2 bags. I'm going to take them back. Everybody can share them. You had a bag and a half of them.
Yes, I did.
I think you and Karen Graham just absolutely just tore them up.
I destroyed a bag and a half because when they're warm,
and I brought them back fresh last year.
Yeah, when they're fresh and warm, it's like Krispy Kreme donuts when they're hot and fresh.
I tell you what,
but these are even better.
Oh yeah, because they're homemade by the Shriners.
And there's cinnamon sugar.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, when's the next time they're gonna make them?
Do you need to be alone for a minute there?
No, I don't have any with me.
Oh, okay.
I ate them all.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, I got them on Monday, and I ate. I had only got asked for a half a dozen, and I ate them all.
I don't know when they're gonna do them again. I'm gonna have to get on the Google machine and see if I can find out, or text Jeremiah or something when they're going to be set up again.
I feel like it might be the next time be Cork and Pork.
Swine and wine.
Yeah,
buddy. I don't know. They set up all the time at different functions.
Right.
But now that we're getting colder, they may not be able to. So
well,
you might have to wait till next June.
Who doesn't love a hot and fresh donut? If you're a donut lover.
But you might have to wait till next June.
It's fine. I could wait.
Your waistline needs to wait.
Yeah, it does. You're right. It definitely needs to wait.
Yeah.
My waistline is crying at me.
Mine is shrinking, and yours is expanding.
It is. It really is.
Yeah, buddy.
Well, folks, we are all over social media. Just to remind you, we are on Instagram. Find us at Virginia Review. You can find us on Twitter at Review Virginian. We're also on Facebook, the brand new Facebook page, Virginia Review - Alleghany Highlands, which, by the way, is booming with a couple recent posts. That one from the Image Express Players of the Week last week. The most viewed post on Facebook.
Yep.
Over 2,100 hits.
And we're just about there with what you posted yesterday with the pumpkins in the park.
I got to give you credit on that one. You posted that
I was going to give
one.
you credit.
No, I'm giving you credit on that one. You posted that one, and yeah, those posts are booming.
Well,
right
my
now.
thing is there's so much, especially with like pumpkins in the park. This weekend we've got Hometown Halloween, downtown Covington, and you've got Pumpkins in the Park Saturday here in Covington. Clifton has something wicked at the Masonic Theater Friday and Saturday.
Which I read the article. That sounds pretty cool.
Gosh. Oh, that sounds really cool. I think the wife and I may try to get down there for that.
Man.
Yeah, buddy. My heart only beats like 6 times a minute, so it might get up to 10 on that one.
And you love Halloween.
I loves me some Halloween, man. After that, I go into the depression mode until, spring.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I like St. Patty's Day because of green beer.
Oh, you love the green beer too?
I like green beer.
Yes, me too.
My body don't like it anymore, but
Oh, I understand.
Yeah.
It's hard to recover the next day.
Oh my gosh, yes.
But I did see Zabrowski made that review page, not the review page, excuse me. It was
the preview.
The preview, yes. That is pretty cool.
I couldn't remember the word, but he
it's
did good.
If you haven't seen it, folks, it's on the new Facebook page, which is again Virginia Review - Alleghany Highlands. It's for those that do not have a subscription to the Virginia Review. It's a little sample of what's inside. It's got news samples. It also has sports samples, and it tells you about what's inside that edition of the Virginia Review. So tomorrow will be another one.
And wait until Saturday. I'm going to get Zabrowski to do a special thing on this. We've got, I'm a Halloween dude.
You are.
We know that. And what better time of the year to sit down with a good horror story or good ghost story or folk tale story than right now. Saturday's edition, and I'll say a girl, but she's my age, so she's young like me. April Hutchison, she did research year and a half or so ago about local folk tales. ghost stories, and she compiled all these, and 10 of them are, and she had the top 10 of them, and we're going to have those in Saturday's paper. So if you like a good ghost story, these stories are really, really cool, but they're all from around the Alleghany Highlands. So it's going to be really cool. Make sure you get a copy of Saturday's paper and read that.
Yeah, that'd be a good one to pick up. Do you have a good ghost story?
Well, I know the newspaper building's haunted.
Okay, yep.
Yeah,
you told me that story a few times.
Yeah, Zabrowski don't like being in here at night now. He's a chicken.
No, I know. He told me about that, and he told me he doesn't really care to be in here alone.
I don't even think about it. You know, you hear doors creaking, doors closing. You hear footsteps at 2 or 3 in the morning. You know, I don't even think about it anymore. A lot of times I'll say, hey, how's it going? But, you know, this building's had a lot of history in it. And being a grocery store at one point, and then a newspaper, and a lot of people have come and gone. And some of them hung around. And, you know, I don't think it's scary. I just think it's, you know, some of the old timers making sure I'm doing my job right. You know, I'll say sometimes I'm doing it. I'm getting there. I'm getting the work done. But yeah, you got to pick up Saturday's paper and read April's story on this. I can't do it justice by describing it. She put a lot of work in this.
I look forward to reading that article. I got a good haunted house story.
Cool.
I used to work at a haunted house inside of a friend's basement. Mm-hmm. Not a basement, garage.
Mm-hmm.
Guy would do work to his garage. I mean, the works to making this a spectacular haunted house. Free of charge, too.
Mm-hmm.
And you give out candy for the kids, it would be an adult haunted house. So,
what kind of candy was he giving out?
Oh, no, the candy was for the kids.
Oh, I thought you meant
the
like
trick-or-treaters.
Adult candy.
No, not like, Jell-O shooters
not
or
like
anything.
shrooms or anything.
No. The trick-or-treaters would come, he'd give the candy out, and then the entertainment part be for the adults.
Gotcha.
He'd let the kids in if they were, parents were okay with it, or the chaperone was okay with it. But there was one woman, I used to dress up as Freddy Krueger.
Oh, okay. I can see that. You look a lot like him.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you got the face of Freddy Krueger.
Thanks.
Without the makeup.
Hey, I used to be told I had a face for radio.
You do. You've got a face definitely for radio.
I appreciate it. I mean, sometimes my voice might have upset people.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
I heard
like that one
I heard
person.
you got a few complaints.
Yeah.
Still not as many as I have in my life, but, you know.
Anyways.
Anywho.
There was a woman that walked by, and I walked up from behind her, and then she turned around, and in a Freddy voice, I can't do it on spot like right now, but when I'm in character, I could. She peed her pants.
I thought you was going to say she nut punched you.
No, she peed her pants.
If somebody ever does that and you're dressed up and somebody nut punches you, make sure somebody has got a video of it. Okay. We will put that video on Breaking the Barrier. Now, you talk about breaking the barrier. Oh, my God.
The only reason why I know she peed her pants is she ran out as soon as she saw me and told her husband she was peeing her pants.
Oh, my gosh. That's bad.
That was great. That was my favorite horror story.
Your ex-girlfriend said that too, didn't it?
Oh.
Now, speaking of ghost stories, my former house that I lived in on Fudge Street, it's haunted. Not a bad haunted, but it's haunted. It's got spectrals there, and I'm not talking about my ex-wife, even though she did haunt me the whole time that we were married, but that's a whole different story.
That's another
episode.
Maybe down the line.
Maybe. But yeah, I mean, so I'm a firm believer. You know, I've never actually seen a ghost. So I cannot say I don't believe in something I've never seen. Like I say, here I hear noises all the time, and it's not the building settling or anything, but it's actually, and I look in the security cameras, which are here in my office, and there's nobody back here. No doors are closing, but it's the sound of it. So, I mean, it's out there, man.
I never seen $1.6 billion either, but apparently somebody won it in South Carolina.
Imagine that.
Just a couple of states away.
Yeah, but you know, I would still be here.
Even if you won?
Even if I won.
You want to retire?
What would I do in retirement?
I don't know.
I don't know what I'd do with. I mean, I know I'd buy me a truck. Nice truck. A nice one.
Bertha 2?
Bertha 2. But I don't know if I could just give up working and all that. You know, I would have a whole lot more fun when I'm not working. But, you know.
I'd buy a farm.
I could see myself getting a farm so we could have room for all the animals. I could see myself giving some of it away to help some organizations, but it's all a big dream, I guess.
I'd buy a farm and I'd rescue as many dogs as I could and have my own daycare.
God, you sound like my daughter. She would rescue every cat, dog out there, and we'd have to have a farm to have all of them. But anyhow,
I'm a dog lover and I'd rescue them all.
Oh yeah.
Well, folks, 1 week from today, but you're listening on Thursday. So on October 31st, speaking of Halloween,
my favorite day,
Crosier's favorite day, it's getting even better for him as the launch of the brand new website comes out for the Virginia Review. Now, don't be alarmed. You still will have access to the old Virginia Review page, but it's going to be very limited. All you're going to be able to do is get the full editions. So you're still going to get full editions on the new website, but you're still going to have very minimal access to the old website. So the whole point is this new website is going to be absolutely user-friendly.
But if you have a subscription, it automatically rolls over.
Yes,
so don't worry.
You're going to get grandfathered in.
Yeah.
So those with a subscription right now online going to be grandfathered in.
And there's no increase in price when we go to this new one.
No.
It'll still be $23.10 for 6 months, $46.20 for a year. You get all the articles and a bunch of special features.
And speaking of special features, I actually sat in with Zabrowski in the conference call he had with your tech guy.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the new features that I'm going to tell you about, games.
Games?
You're going to be able to access games on the new website. And what I mean by games is there's going to be a drop-down bar. And you know what a drop-down bar is?
Yeah, I know that much.
Okay. Well, you're going to have the home bar is going to be there, easy access to the news, login, things like that. But also on that drop-down bar, games.
Cool.
And one of the games on there is crossword.
Cool.
So not only are you going to get the full edition crossword from the print, you're also going to get a second one, which you can do online. So you can play this game online. So all you do is you type in what the word is, you make the guess, you're right, it works.
Cool.
So you're going to be able to play games on there. Not only is it crossword, but you're also going to have word find. You're also going to have pool and solitaire.
Awesome.
So this is a fun way for those that are online reading the Virginia Review in like certain subsections like news, sports, whatever it may be. A way for them to get away from it and play some games too.
Awesome.
So that's something new that I know that you didn't know about yet because Zabrowski didn't want me to tell you until we started recording today.
That's Zabrowski. I'm going to have to fire him.
Hey, he's your guy.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
If you fire him, you're going to have to bring me in.
Oh, I ain't going to
And
fire
you don't
him.
want to see me 7 days a week. I mean, not
I
7 days a week.
I do not want to see that. I don't even see you 1 day a week.
Yeah, we're lucky we get to 30 minutes. I mean,
really.
We're already pushing the button with going overboard here. But the new website launches October 31st, and it has a lot of new features for only subscribers only.
Mm-hmm.
So, folks, you're going to love this. The new games, sitting down, listening to this, and seeing how it actually works, it's pretty cool.
It is. I'm looking forward to
This
it.
is definitely going to be a big hit for the new Virginia Review website, which is, again, www.thevirginiareview.com. The new website launches October 31st. Now, to some unfortunately bad news. Not necessarily bad news, and I told Crosier this before.
And I was sucking in my cigar when he said that, and I got choked
you
up.
You got majorly choked up.
Because the one thing I've really been looking for that I understand
is the app. And unfortunately, the app will not be launched on the 31st due to some issues with Apple/iOS. Basically, what I know is for Android devices, it's easy to get through for Android, but with Apple iOS, it's making sure that the content is good to go.
Mm-hmm.
So there's nothing wrong with that because it's making sure that everything's up to
security.
date. Yes. There's a lot more security to Apple.
And you know when you download it that it's not some fly-by-night. That's going to hack you and things like that.
Right.
And I like that. I like that with Apple. I didn't realize it was going to take that long, but to have that extra level of security, we can deal with it.
And because of that security is another reason why Breaking the Barrier will be on iTunes very soon. I've been working on that myself to get that we can get on iTunes. It's just about getting through Apple and iOS and making sure everything is set.
Yeah.
So it's something else to look forward to, because not only on October 31st, you're going to have the launch of the new
will we
website.
have it by Halloween next year?
What, the app?
Yeah.
No, oh gosh, yes.
Okay.
Oh yes, no, this is talking about a week or 2 weeks out.
Oh, I thought you meant like Halloween next year.
No. The app will be ready in a few weeks once it gets through all the kinks and the fix through Apple.
Yeah, kinks. I hate kinks.
So it'll be ready to go on
wonderful
in a few weeks after the launch of the new website, which is fine. It gives the fans, all the users and subscribers, something else to look forward to.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of good in a way because you don't want to throw too much at them.
Why not?
Well, you can, but you don't want to overwhelm them. I wouldn't want to be overwhelmed.
This is overwhelming. Just the new website's overwhelming.
No, the new website is user-friendly.
No, I'm talking about just the visual of it.
Oh, yes.
And what it can do. I've seen bits and pieces of it.
Yeah, you actually got to see your first look of it last week.
Yeah, and I'm excited, man. I'm excited for it. And that, not in a bad overwhelming, but it's overwhelming just seeing what's going to be there that we haven't had up to this point.
Right.
You'll be able to get Breaking the Barrier right on
the website. The homepage.
Yeah, so you'll have YouTube,
Twitter, Facebook,
through the website to get Breaking the Barrier.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be on iTunes. So I mean, we're gonna have a lot of ways for people to get a hold of this mess.
Right, and the content on the new website, out of this world.
Zabrowski did a good job, man.
He did a great job.
I know he doesn't listen to this, so...
No, he told me he does.
Does he really? I didn't want to give him the big head.
No, he told me he listens to every week. He's curious to see what you have to say about him.
Oh, okay. Well, I say it to his face.
Yeah, but he likes to know if you like him.
Not really.
Yeah, he didn't think so.
Not really. I don't like nobody.
Even though he said you call him his little brother.
He is my little brother. He is.
So that's why you got to pick on him.
Yeah, I don't like.
No, you pick on me.
I pick on you all the time.
Well, you don't want to confuse the listeners out there. The website, October 31st, is the launch of the new website. It's going to be fantastic. Sitting in again on that conference call, looking at all the new features. Folks, you're going to have a ball with this new website. And it's a low subscription, as low as
$23.10.
$23.10. That's for 6 months.
That's
correct?
For 6 months, yeah.
Can't beat that price. Especially with the games being added to it and everything. Being able to look at more pictures than ever before. It's going to be a very cool new website.
Yeah. And it's going to be very mobile friendly.
And mobile friendly, yes.
Yeah. And ours right now is not the most mobile friendly in the world. So this is going to be to where if you have your tablet, if you have your phone, you'll be able to get everything. So.
And I'm heavily pushing this because we're less than a week away after they listen to this episode, less than a week away to the new launch of the website.
Okay, cool.
So something to look forward to, and I know you want to get going because you have your interview to take care of.
I get to go down. I'm going to meet him at the club car, and there's going to be coffee involved. Coffee and one of my best friends. So what could be better?
What could be better?
And we're talking the Shrine Club, Clifton Forge Shrine Club, the Shriners, all the good they do. So I'm excited. I need to get out of here. All right, folks. I am sitting here at the beautiful club car in Clifton Forge. I'll be very honest with you. I have never been here before. We're talking today with Jeremiah Walker. Jeremiah is the chairman of the Fall Festival Committee. The Fall Festival just wrapped up Sunday evening, and I wanted to get the dust to settle a little bit, Jeremiah, and let you get your feet about you, because I know when I saw you Friday, you were just everywhere. I think what Glenn Perry told me, you were putting out fires, everywhere, doing chairman stuff, and I wanted to give you time for the dust to settle, but it's always been my opinion that there's a lot of emphasis put on the Fall Festival leading up to it. and the Shriners and the Fall Festival and everything else that happens throughout the year, nobody ever hears anything after the Fall Festival stops. And I wanted to get you on here and let's talk a little bit about, first of all, tell me about the Clifton Forge Shrine Club.
Well, Dave, I appreciate the opportunity to talk about the Fall Festival and the Clifton Forge Shrine Club. The Clifton Forge Shrine Club started, I'm not sure how long ago, but it was really Jimmy Hogg and Jimmy Sanders and a couple of other guys who were members of Kazim Temple who wanted to start a local organization where the members of Kazim Temple could meet locally. I do believe there was also at one time a Covington Shrine Club.
There was. I know doing Echoes of the Past for the paper, it was active late 60s. Now, I don't know a whole lot of information. And I don't think they joined with Clifton. I think they just disappeared when it got to the point where and the people from Covington just kind of
right, and I
came
think
down here.
I think that is what happened, is that they dissolved, and those folks some of them became members of the Clifton Forge Shrine Club, which really bolstered our membership.
What is y'all's membership now?
Our membership on roster is somewhere around 120 to 150 members.
Okay.
Now,
there's going to be one more. That's my goal once I get off council. And once I retire from that part of public service, I've told Mickey Boyer before that I don't want to join until I can give it all I can. Now, tell people what is a Shriner. I mean, they see the fezzes, and they see the little cars and parades, and they see the clowns, and they know the circus. But they don't know what a Shriner really is.
Sure. Well, a Shriner is a Mason. And to be a Shriner, one has to be a Mason.
And that's what my mother-in-law asked me about that. And she is very learned, but she even asked me that. She said, well, what in the world is a Shriner? And I said, I could be one because I'm a Mason. She said, really? I said, yeah, you can't be one until you're a Mason. And that's something people don't
A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
To be a Shriner, you have to be a Mason. And the motto of a Shriner is having fun and supporting the hospitals for children.
See, that's what gets me. That's the hook that makes me want to help so much. And I try to help throughout the year with the supplement we just put out last week. And y'all know I'm always here for help. But the thing with the hospitals and the things y'all have done for kids in our area, and it's not just, y'all raise money, it goes to Roanoke or Greenville, South Carolina, or wherever, and nobody ever gets helped here. Y'all have helped a lot of kids.
We have, and the way we do that is several ways. The organization nationwide, Shriners North America, has a network of 22 hospitals, orthopedic and burn centers, although we're starting to morph away from the burn centers.
Why is that?
To help children. I'm not sure if it's the level of care or the level of specialty.
Oh, okay, I got
that. It sort of takes a lot more level of care than I think. I think technology is outpacing us.
Gotcha, okay.
But our hospital in Greenville, which is what Kazim Temple Shriners and the Shriners in Clifton Forge support, has one of the most state-of-the-art orthopedic hospitals within the system. We support our local kids from the Roanoke catchment area to Greenville.
Now, Roanoke catchment?
The Roanoke catchment area. So the Clifton Forge Shrine Club is a member of Kazim Temple, and anybody within the Kazim Temple boundaries, which goes from Stanton south to the North Carolina border, Martinsville west to the Tennessee-West Virginia borders, and North Carolina borders.
I had never heard that word before. So basically it's a district.
Basically it's a district.
Okay.
And that is what we are part of. And any child that needs services from that district would go to Greenville for orthopedic needs and would go to Cincinnati if there are burn needs.
Now, y'all take kids.
We do take kids.
It's not like y'all just put somebody in contact with Greenville and leave them on their own. I've talked with various people, and I'm sure you've been on transports. But y'all actually, from Clifton Forge, take local kids
We do.
to Greenville.
They're called Road Runners. It's a group within the temple, and I unfortunately have never been able to participate
Really?
in that. But we have two of our Shrine Club members, David Dew and Mutzi Tingler, that do drive patients to both Greenville and to Cincinnati.
Oh, that's awesome.
And the way we do this, we will take the patient and a family member, and we will actually, if it's an overnight trip, we will put the person up and the patient in a hotel room. We take care of their meals, and we get them to their appointment the next day. At the Greenville Hospital, we also have family rooms where the patient's family can stay with the patient or can stay within the hospital if there's a surgery. And the funds that we raise from the fall festival, the actual vendor spaces that we rent, all of those funds go to the Kazim Temple Transportation Fund. That transportation fund is what pays for the gas to go back and forth to the hospital. It pays for the hotel motel rooms, and it pays for the food cost for the patient and their family member to go.
So how much do y'all normally raise on a given fall festival?
You know,
I know the numbers are probably not in yet for this year.
They aren't, because we still have to pay expenses. We do support and give back to the local economy by buying insurance for the festival, and we do that locally. We also have other expenses from, taxes that we pay to the locality as well that are all part of the fall festival. We, on average, I would say, you're probably looking at around $5,000 to $7,500.
Oh, that's still awesome. That is an awesome amount
that we send directly to the transportation fund.
Yeah, and that goes a long way, I'm sure.
It does go a long way, and it's really not only the support of the town of Clifton Forge and the Public Works Department, the Police Department, all the way to the town manager's office, all the way to town council.
And Darlene doesn't get as much credit for what she does around here that she needs.
She really has been great to work with.
I love Darlene, and I've made it clear on this show before. A lot of people knock Darlene, but I've seen her in action on EDC and various things, and she is a bulldog for Clifton Forge.
She really is.
And I made the comment to you off air that I love Clifton for the fact that people take things so seriously. There's campaign signs for the campaign. These scarecrows that are up. I've seen pictures on Facebook, but it doesn't do it justice. So y'all, and don't forget the Shriner Donuts was our Covington's Farmers Market trailer, and that's one of the things we partner with.
That's
with
right.
The Shriners throughout the year. I know the Shriners do the donuts because people love the donuts.
People love the donuts, and you're right. It really is a community effort, and that's really who I want to thank as well is the Alleghany Highlands. The whole community turns out to support this event and help us raise those funds that go to transport children back and forth to the hospitals.
Now, what if somebody wants to be a Shriner? Now, with me, I know y'all.
Sure.
So I can just say, hey, jerk. And I have to say, I'm not calling him a jerk. That's the nickname.
That goes back to high school.
Oh, my
folks.
God. I thought about it last night when I knew I was coming down here. 30-some years we've been friends.
That it seems amazing.
It is.
That we've been alive that long.
It's amazing that we both survived.
I would agree with that.
Oh, my gosh.
I would agree with
But how would somebody get into the Shriners? And once again, you got to be a Mason.
You have to be a Mason.
And I have to say this. I've never told you this. Watching you become a Mason is why I became a Mason.
Oh, wow.
You joined the Masons in Clifton. What year was that?
I want to say
early
it was
2000s, wasn't it?
2000 or 2001.
Yeah,
so.
it was early 2000s, and I did really. My granddad was a Mason, and Uncle was a 32nd degree Mason, and so I'd heard about it, but I really didn't understand it. But I watched you do it.
Sure.
And I'm going to talk about you as a person for a minute. You not only devote your time to the Shriners and the Shriners mission, but you are the administrator?
I'm the administrator.
Of Mountain Regional Hospice.
I am.
And if anybody has ever used hospice, understands what a phenomenal service that is to this area. So you've got your hand in all kinds of different public service avenues, and and watching you do all that, I became a Mason in Covington. You joined Clifton.
I did.
Dr. Nunley, right?
Dr. Nunley was somebody that sort of had a large influence on my life, and that's why I sort of migrated toward Clifton Forge, even at the time I was living in Covington. But it was.
But it's one of those deals that
it doesn't
really matter because we all do stuff together. Now, I'm not as active in Covington or Mason in general as I need to be. My wife tells me all I need at the office is a shower, and I never come. I got a kitchen there, bathroom, recliner, everything else. So I don't get to do a whole lot as much as. That's why I don't want to get into the Shriners yet until I can give the time to it.
Sure.
Until the District 5 voters are tired of me, and then I'll join the Shriners, and y'all get tired of me.
Well, I don't think we'll get tired of it.
But watching you become a Mason is exactly the reason I did. So, and I never told you that.
Well, no, this is the first I'm hearing of it, and I'm glad that had an influence.
Because we don't get to see each other very much.
We really don't.
Maybe once a year
at the Fall Festival.
Well, because I can tell you, as much as I love Clifton Forge, I might get down here 10 times in a year.
Sure.
And that's sad. My whole sphere is in a 2-block radius in downtown Covington. The newspaper, City Hall, Loving Funeral Home, and Granbury Church. And everything that I do basically is within that 2-block area. And I just don't get down here much, but we're going to change that. So I got off on a tangent. I'm like that old dog, squirrel. But where would somebody go if they're a Mason to become a Shriner?
Well, if they're a Mason, all they need to do is to ask another Shriner. They can certainly stop by our office, and we can get them an application. It's also called a petition.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be happy to do that. And if it's something that you're not a Mason, we can talk about that too.
Masonry is one of the best things, next to having children and being a firefighter, has been one of the best things I've ever done.
Well, and I was going to say, there's a lot of public service that you do,
my
friend.
Well, not as much as I'd like to. I mean, and working all, and because you're chained to a desk a lot with hospice, doing what you do. Used to be the only time I saw you was you'd be traveling through Covington going to see a patient.
Correct.
And we'd wave at each other. And you don't even get to do that much now, do you?
No, I sort of fly a desk and sit behind it. And
you get to be like Alfred the Butler now. You get to put the superheroes out, the nurses.
That's right.
The staff. You get to disseminate the superheroes, and you're Alfred the Butler now. That's what I feel like at the newspaper, that all of my superheroes that work for the paper, I ain't one.
Right.
I'm like the blocker in football. I clear the road so they can score a touchdown, and you're like that with hospice, man.
And that's really true, because it's really our great people, our nurses, our CNAs, our social workers, and chaplains.
I know at the time when the funeral home gets called and we go and we deal with the nurses, and I've watched the nurses deal with the families and how much love and care and how close the nurses become with the patient, and it's phenomenal. Thank God, knock on wood, my family's never had to have it, but I've heard from so many people that have, and that is, and every time I turn around, you're into something helping people, and that is just phenomenal for me.
Well, and that's,
I
enjoy it.
I'm going to be like you when I grow up.
Well, I appreciate it.
You're a lot older than I am, though.
Some days I feel that.
Oh, yeah, and I have to give a confession. About 2 years ago, I finally told your dad that we blew up his red light when we were kids in his vehicle. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, Jeremiah's mom or dad would pick us up from school and we would hang out. We lived about a block away from each other. And one day his dad picked us up, and he was a Covington firefighter, had one of those red lights in his vehicle that you plug in. I said, well, what's that? I didn't know what one was, so we plugged it in and burned it up.
We did do that.
We burned it up, and we played dumb. For 25 years, we played dumb that we burned up his red light, and I think we were at a Masonic thing. I think I'd come down here to Clifton for a Masonic gig, and I saw him, and I said, Charlie, I gotta confess to you, brother. I blew up your red light. He said, and he didn't even remember the red light got blown up.
He probably didn't. He has so many of them.
Bless his heart.
I know.
But he was one of the reasons I got into firefighting.
Yeah.
Because growing up together, I saw the pictures and I saw what he did, and your family. I see him on Facebook all the time, and your mom I see walking all the time.
Right.
Now, how do you find time? How do you find time to be a husband and a dad? Because you got a little one at home too.
I do have a little one, and that's probably the best job of all.
Oh my God, that is the best thing.
It is.
And just to see either one of us getting married and having kids, that is just, it's cosmic in my mind.
I wasn't sure what ever happened, but it did.
I know, man. Both of us, A, I didn't think we'd make it this long, and B, to see us actually become respectable. Well,
Sure.
you're respectable, and you're respectable, and I got a big mouth.
Well, that's okay. I've got a big mouth at times, too.
Well, sometimes you have to.
It's a balance because, first of all, I have a wife that understands that balance.
And that's huge.
It is.
That is huge when you're doing public service, and I lump everything that you do and what I do, even though we get paid for some of it, it is still public service.
It is.
Because you're helping the people. But if you don't have that understanding partner at home, you can't be successful. My wife fusses at me. A lot of it's because she thinks I overdo it. But I couldn't find my socks in the morning without her support.
Oh, absolutely.
And if somebody blasts me on social media or whatever, she's like Mama Bear ready to claw. And I know your wife, and I know she's the same way with you. Luckily, you're on the respectable end of things and not in politics, so you don't get the negative backlash like I do.
That's true, but that's all politics is local.
Oh,
they
yeah.
say.
Well, and I don't like to think of it as politics. I'm a public servant.
Exactly.
Because I don't have a party.
Right.
I don't like anybody telling this. I don't like anybody telling me what to do.
This is true.
But folks, it has been great. If you get a chance, like I say, this is my first time in the club car. It is gorgeous. I looked at the menu when I got here. Slip down to Clifton Forge. Look at the decorations. Heck, look at the political signs. Like I say, this is small town life right here, and I love Covington dearly. But it is so hard to get residents involved unless they're fussing about something.
Sure.
They want to fuss and whine about this and that, but when it comes to public spirit, it's hard to get people involved with it. And I love coming to Clifton what few times I can, but you're going to be back on the show eventually because I'm going to keep hounding you.
Okay.
We're going to do an episode one time on hospice.
We can do that.
Because a lot of people still don't know, if they've never been involved with it, they just think it's somebody that does taking care of people when they're at the end stage, and it's a whole lot more to it. So I'm going to have you back, and this will give me a reason to come back down here and have some more of this Club Car coffee.
You're welcome anytime.
Oh, yeah. So, Jeremiah, thank you very much, and you do one hell of a job, and I appreciate you. So, brother, thank you very much.
Thank you, David. Appreciate it.
All right, Croge, that was a good interview you had with Jeremiah. You got to talk about the Fall Festival and all that it had to offer.
And all things Shriners.
And all things Shriners. Shriner Donuts.
That's all you care about, is Shriner Donuts. That's the only thing about the Shriners you ever cared about was donuts.
Of course, those donuts are amazing, but they also do a great job with everything they put together.
Yeah, that's right. They do a great job.
I sat in last year, I think it was last year or the year before that. I can't remember now. There was I think it was a folk band or a folk festival.
Probably.
That the Shriners were down.
Yeah.
Oh, no, bluegrass. Bluegrass.
Iron Gate.
Yes,
yeah.
there was a bluegrass festival when I was working at the radio station.
Mm-hmm.
I was down there. They were down there. They took care of me.
Oh, yeah.
They took care. They hooked me up with hot dogs, sausage dogs, anything I wanted. They gave to me on the house.
And the things they do for kids, the crippled and burned kids, and the things they do that nobody knows about. So it was great talking with Jeremiah, kind of, because I get asked all the time, what is a Shriner? And so we got to talk about that, and anytime I can be around my dear friend and drink coffee.
And you didn't bring me no Shriner donuts.
They weren't making any.
You had one job, besides getting the interview.
Well, I was worried about getting that right.
Yeah.
But nobody was making Shriner donuts in Clifton Forge.
Oh, okay.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I'll forgive you this time.
Butthole.
Folks, we've had a great show, and we thank you for joining us throughout. There's a great interview, great main event that Crosier conducted, and nice little break for me.
Are you going to let me do that again sometime?
Absolutely.
Oh, cool.
Absolutely.
On assignment.
On assignment.
I've always said, and as we wrap up the show, one of these days if I win the lottery, I'm going to buy a boat. And I'm going to call it The Assignment. That way, if somebody calls in here and says, they want to see me, all anybody says, well, he's out on assignment. You think about it.
Yeah.
I could be out on my boat tooling around somewhere, but I'm on assignment.
I like that.
Yeah.
We might have to do that more often for you.
Oh, yeah. It's nice to get out of the office every now and then.
Speaking of future shows, we have any interviewers coming lining up?
We're going to have Marla Acreage here in a few weeks.
You're going to get on assignment.
You're going to send me on assignment for that. We're going to get...
really want to get Teresa from KQA.
Teresa, we're going to have her. I've already talked to her. We're going to have that. I'm doing that by myself so we can do it down there and I can have cupcakes.
Are you going to bring me any cookies?
No. Not if you're not on assignment.
Can I go on assignment with you?
Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know if I want to be seen in public with you, though.
My assignment would be you conducting the interview
and
me eating cookies. Not that I need it.
Not that you need it. No, like I say, you're gaining it, I'm losing
exactly.
it. So. But anyway.
Well, folks, we hope you enjoyed the show. We're going to wrap things up. For David Crosier, I'm Adam Benz, signing off, and we hope to have you tune in next week for episode number 13.
Lucky number 13.
Lucky number 13 for Halloween.
For Halloween,
because that's when we'll be doing our next episode, which is the launch of the brand new Virginia Review website. Folks, we hope you have a great rest of your week, and we will talk to you all next week.
Roll Tide.